Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Now most of you will remember the Robocop trilogy from the late 80s to the early 90s. These movies were phenomenal. The first time when I saw these movies I was around 5 years old. My brother had a few Robocop toys and his iconic pistol, which I sadly broke eventually. Also around this time I was starting to get familiar with the Nintendo Entertainment System, also known today as the NES. Many memorable games from the NES like Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, Metroid and Castlevania, just to name a few, helped create a community which still stands strong today. Movies adapted to video games and vice versa were very common around this time. So we all remember the Robocop movies and the Robocop franchise, number 2 being my personal favourite. But the question for today is, who remembers Robocop 2 on the NES? Yeah, you remember Robocop 2, don't ya? Alex Murphy, aka Robocop, is in the middle of a police strike in Detroit. He has no choice but to uphold the law, even during the strike, because he's just... as scientists from OCP constantly try to remind him.
That'll do it. Stop tape.
He goes around crushing a new drug called Nuke, which is being manufactured by a man named Kane. The game seems fine at this time, with the controls being a little bit delayed, but the animations look very good for the time and you can definitely tell that you are playing as Robocop. The artwork in the main menu hypes you up before you enter the game, seeing Alex Murphy blast off a few rounds in the distance. Fuck yeah, it's time to fuck people up. So we set off to search for Kane in his nuke manufacturing factories, which all apparently have missing floors that drop you to your death, cogs positioned in random places that make no sense. By the way, they also kill you in one hit. Okay, so I have to pause it here for a minute. Robocop, the cyborg that moves slower than snails, that weighs as much as a truck. Look at these great distances he can leap. Holy shit. Oh my god. Now, I know in the latest remake of Robocop, you see Alex Murphy jump over a wall, run through a rice field really quick as fuck. But we're talking about the original Robocop, which is Robocop 1, 2, and 3. In number 2, it took 8 people to carry him to lift him off the ground just to bring him inside to help repair him after he tried to electrocute himself and get rid of all the OCP initiatives. But we never saw Robocop in the original jump giant walls and run super quick and everything like that. Maybe in number 3 we saw him with a jetpack. But this is Robocop 2 we're talking about, so that hasn't even been implemented yet. After wiping out the enemies in the factories and crushing as much nuke as you can get underneath your foot, you then encounter the first boss of the game. Yep, it's Kane. He engages you by firing electric sperm from a makeshift rocket launcher. After dodging Kane's attacks, you get into a fist fight with him, knocking his stupid ass out. He was definitely high on nuke to go ahead face to face with Robocop out of all people. Oh my god, he kicked my ass! That is technically impossible. You know what? We're going one more time. Yeah! Punch him right in the dick! No more babies for you, Kane. Stupid motherfucker. After this point, the stages are a bit repetitive with a few puzzle solving platforming and a lot of cheap deaths. Thank fuck the game lets you continue where you left off. Oh, but don't turn off the game thinking it's saved. Once you reset or lose power to the NES, you have to start all over again. Speaking of starting all over again, remember the nuke and the bad guys that you have to run into? Make sure you grab as many as possible or else you are put into an OCP targeting shootout, just to see if you're eligible to pass the level. If you don't succeed here, then you'll be playing the last stage all over again. Finally, we see a new stage that happens to be propelling buildings from the ground into space. I'm sure that was in the movie as well. Robocop is on his mission to get to the second Robocop, also known as Robocop 2, and defeat him to finish off Kane once and for all. Bad OCP. Why do you have to make a new Robocop? I would much rather face Skeleton Cop 1. That probably would have made a better game, to be honest. Robocop finally makes it through the shitstorm and has a showdown with Robocop 2. At this point, now you enter a sort of one-on-one big mode shootout. Defeat Kane 3 times, and Alex Murphy saves the day.
Now, I haven't played this game in over 15 years, but I can still remember some of the hidden secrets that are in some of the stages and some of the levels in this game, just to collect the extra nuke and to get parts of the missing memory, just to quickly advance ahead into the next levels. But that's the whole point of this YouTube channel and what I'm creating here today, is to go back to my childhood, look at a few movies that I used to love watching, which I might start getting back into, and also some of the video games I used to play. They used to either really piss me off or used to have a lot of fun. There'll be some games and movies that you may or may not remember, but be sure to check in once in a while, because we'll be going through quite a few of them.
So, did you remember Robocop 2 on the NES? If so, leave a comment below, share and subscribe to be notified about our latest episodes.